Alright, so on the Investigator Trail, which is kind of a little walk to a little known trail in the Lincoln National Park below Port Lincoln in South Australia. It's about 90 k's and it's quite flat and reasonably scrubby, so we should get some good views around the beach area, but there's probably going to be a lot of areas that are not maybe the most spectacular. But looking forward to it. Haven't done a trail for a while. So Kari and I are out here seeing how it goes. A little bit cloudy today. Rained in the morning, which is good. Gave us a bit of water in the tanks. But it'll clear up throughout the rest of the day and the next 3 days, because we're doing it in 4 days. So today and the next 3 days. Next 3 days after today are supposed to be nice weather. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be great. One of the biggest concerns on this trip has been water. We've had a very dry autumn so far. So there's been a bit of a concern that there wouldn't be any water in the tanks. But it's rained a bit, including 1.5 mils last night. So we're hopeful that there's enough water in all the tanks. Steady little climb up the Stanford Hill. We're coming up the back way. Starting to get some views over to Port Lincoln, which is nice. Not too much further and we're up to the top. Beautiful view from up here. Beautiful view. For dinner. Look how close he is. Wow, he has been fed by people before, I'm pretty sure. Look at him. Alright, morning of day 2. We are leaving Surfleet Cove. And we are heading out for about a 20k day to McLaren Point. Don't exactly know the distance because I measured it roughly. You know, there's a lot of information about this trail. to be McLaren Point all the way over there, which is where we're going. Just pushing through the bush, a bit away from the shore. Got about 2 k's to camp. It's going to be about another 24k day. It's been a bit of a hard day again, just distance wise, you know. Walking's been relatively flat, a little bit undulating. Some beautiful views, but now back into just the bushwalking, which is not particularly beautiful, to be honest. But we'll get it done. Only 2 k's to go. We found what we thought might be the McLaren Point hiker's hut. It was a tiny tin roof with a water tank, and that was it. There was nowhere to camp really. It was a tiny small space. I don't understand how anyone could think anyone could camp there. So we are hoping that we got that wrong and there is another one up here, but I'm not very hopeful. So we might just be camping in some rando spot. Alright, so the McLaren Point hikers campground didn't work out because we couldn't believe that was the campground when it was just a tiny little shack and no area to pitch a tent. So we were looking for just a spot to throw the tent up, but there really wasn't anything. So now we are walking along to a bush campsite down here, and we're going to hopefully find a spot in this bush campsite because we've done, what, 25 k's today? Over 25 k's, and we're a bit tired, and it would be nice to just find a campsite. Still very beautiful. So after a bit of a mix-up, we ended up trekking a little bit further along past Cape Donington. No, not Cape Donington, what is that? Past McLaren Point. And we have ended up in a bush campsite. But it's not the worst. It is 6:30 in the morning and we are heading out. There's a dolphin fishing in the rocks right there. He's catching the wave in. He's catching the wave in. He hit the ground with his fin.
Dolphin, come up back here.
Wow, that was amazing. We just saw the dolphin catch the wave in. That is incredible.
What is this?
That's a lot of seagrass.
Got it.
All right, Taylor's Landing. Been here before. Let's go get some water, and then it is 14 k's to Pili Hut, just going straight through the middle there. But this is very beautiful. Very beautiful. And the dolphins are back. It's a pod right in the middle of the screen. There you go, and there's the toilets with a water tank which hopefully has water, because if it does not, well, looking at all the bees, it definitely does. Okay, we've just been slogging along on this path, going at about 4 k's an hour because there's not much to see. We're only about 3.8 k's or less now from Pili Lake, but we're going to turn left before then. So hopefully we are getting close to where we're going to decide whether we're going to stop at the Pili Lake hut or if we're going to keep going to the, I think it's Brian Clark hut. I think the intention is to go to Brian Clark hut because it will make the next day quite short in comparison. But we're going to have our lunch first. After lunch in Peely Hut, we're pushing on to Brian Clark Hut, which is 5 to 6 k's from here. That'll put us at about 26, 27 for the day. It's pretty hot at the moment. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Beating down on us. Still not the prettiest terrain now since we've left the ocean, but getting closer. Ooh, there's been a steady climb up from the valley there. You can see Stamford Hill way off in the distance there. Beautiful, so sunny. Still a lot of fire tracks, but it looks like we're almost at the top of the hill. And here we go. The Brian Clark Hut. You know what? That's not too bad. That's not too bad. As long as there's water. There is no water. Kari, what? There's no water. Oh, no. Well, that's a bit of a problem. Okay, so we made it to the Brian and Clark Hut after, I should actually stop my watch, 26.26 k's, and we found that somebody had left a tap open on the water tank, so there is no water here. So we had this full. I'm about to drink some. Kari put some in her bladder. I've got 800 mils in my bladder, and Kari now has about 800 as well. And that, plus those two 800, have to get us through tomorrow back to the car. Plus this. I guess we are probably going to eat a simple breakfast tomorrow. We're going to eat tuna and stuff tonight because we don't have to use water for it. And then we'll leave this, as much of this as we can. Wow, I've turned the tap closed, so hopefully if it rains again, it actually catches some water. Bit of a shock, really, actually, because we could have carried more water here. Could have filled up in our last place, but we just didn't because everywhere's had water, so we just expected this place to have water. And if somebody hadn't purposely left the tap open, this place would have water. Because this is all the water we have left for breakfast, we've had to make some decisions. We've both put 800 mils about in our water bladders, which are going to get us the 19 or so k's back to the car, and there's water there. So tonight I'm going to have some premium tuna pieces.
That's salmon, dude.
Oh, salmon, it is salmon, thank you. Some premium salmon pieces and a boost. And for breakfast I'm going to have a protein bar and use my water for a coffee. Kari's going to have her salmon pieces and a Kit Kat for dinner.
That's for breakfast.
And this for breakfast plus a tea. Alright, and so we'll see how we go. So here it is. What we've got. We're in this terrible situation.
Yummy.
We just brought these salmons too as like an afterthought. We were like, what if we want to have an extra snack? Like, but we always bring too much food. And now it's a lifesaver because we don't have to use water for our meals. And it has water in it.
Oil, maybe.
Oil. No, it's all right. All right, so the sun is just coming up and everything is very, very wet. Look at that purple in the sky, beautiful. Very, very wet. There is so much dew everywhere, all over the tent, everywhere. And that got me thinking, if there's so much dew around, maybe it's collected enough. And it was. It was still dark when I did it, but I was able to get like 500 mils and I could probably get more. So we're going to use this for our teeth this morning. And then we are probably going to collect a little bit more from the dew water and head on for the last day. So you can see the speed of our dew water, but it's still amazing that we got this much water just from the dew. We already got about 400 mils actually, so this will hopefully put us up to about 500, which means we'll actually be able to have a bit more water for our trip home. We're having a little bit of difficulty finding the trail through here. Yeah, Like the trail just, like there's signs and the sign says go straight, but you're like, is this go straight? That's not go straight. It is through there, has to be through there, hun. You just have to push or go some way. Oh, the trail said go straight. And it looks like that was it there. Straight up this hill onto this dune. Let's hope that was right. We are very sandy now. Oh yeah, that was it. There's a sign.
Oh my god.
Whew. Wow. We have totally lost the trail. There was a sign saying go straight ahead, but then there was no other sign. Oh, I've just found it! Yes! Hey! Found it! Great. Wow, this bit is tricky, eh? Wow, this has just been an amazing part of the trail. Like, we've hardly come any distance, I think about 3 Ks. Well, I'm gonna get wet. Tide's coming in. And yet, like, navigating through those sand dunes, walking along this beautiful beach, just an amazing part of the trail. Really, really amazing. Okay, Kari's out of water, and I'm out of water. We've got about 300 mils left in a bottle, and we've got maybe 9 Ks to go. And as you can see, it's pretty amazing country. So after, oh my God, after messing around for the last half an hour trying to find the trail, there's a freaking sign there that is completely concealed. Could not see it, did not notice it. Been trying to find the trail for half an hour. There's a signpost down there past Calgary that suggests the trail is to the left. It's not to the left, it's right up this hill. Don't be fooled by that. That took a little longer than expected, but here we are, walking alongside Sleeping Mere with some black swans in it. Beautiful. Let's get going. Alright, we made it to the turn off to the car park. That is the last of the water. Kari's had her half, so I'm going to have mine. First water I've had in close to 10 Ks. Let's have a go. It's pretty good. Pretty good. And that's dew water. This last bit has been a stunning early section. Walking along those sand dunes and trying to find your way. The heat of the day and the lack of water has made the last bit, honestly, a little bit of a struggle, but it still had its beauty. And now we've only got, well, less than a K to go. 1, 2, 3, jump. Done.